Hi, welcome to Made to Heal with Angela Brown. So, I'm going to talk about the blessings of change, and it's coming from this emotional resilience put into my own words and sharing a quote or two from and some questions from the manual. But please go to it and refer to it, it's amazing. Before I get into that, I am going to share the link to my 12-week online course. Also, my link to my newly published book is out on Amazon, and it is called You Are Made to Heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And it is my journey. It is my journey of how I suffered from suicidal thoughts and depression for 30 plus years, and the things that helped me come out of that, and the tools and techniques. And you don't have to be somebody that has suffered from suicidal thoughts or depression to get good out of this book. It is for anyone and everyone. It was designed for late teens on up. If you have a desire to change, maybe it's emotions that you're stuck in that you're not loving, maybe it's childhood trauma, whatever it is, we are made to heal because God made us to be resilient. He made us to heal. And I have found that on my journey. I have been going on 9 years without depression or suicidal thoughts, and it's been miraculous. And although my life hasn't been easy, since I've made the changes these last 9 years of my life, but the tools have made my burdens feel lighter because I have gone through Christ, and it's been an amazing journey. So I just invite you to click on that link and read that book. It makes a great gift for not only yourself, but your loved ones. And although it doesn't have all the answers, and I'm not saying anything new that hasn't been said before, but it's from my heart and it's from my experiences. And, it's been a blessing to me in my life, and I'm sharing it with you. So, okay, I wanted to talk about the blessings of change because change is something that happens all the time, whether we want it or not. Sometimes this change is very welcome, and sometimes this change is like we are not wanting the change that we're going through, but it happens. Whether it's because of other people's actions around us that we're forced to change, whether it's through a divorce or, a job transfer, or you being let go from a job just because of the economy. Who knows? But sometimes these changes are very welcome and sometimes they're not. And I am just here to tell you that, yeah, change is inevitable and it is part of life. And change can be exciting. And I wanted to share this quote because it is, I'm not sure who made it, but I'm getting it from in fact, it's from scripture. It is Ether 12:27. The Lord assures us that if we humble ourselves before him, he can help us through change for the better. And in Ether 12:27 it says, "And if men come unto me, I will show unto them their weaknesses. I will give unto men I give unto men weakness, that they may be humble, and my grace is sufficient for all men that humble themselves before me. For if they humble themselves before me and have faith in me, then will I make things become strong unto them." So if we just keep trusting in God and his timing and his plans, the changes that can be welcome, maybe it is a new move, maybe it is a new job, maybe it's the expecting of a new child in your home or a grandchild. So exciting changes. Or there can be changes that are so unwelcome, like an untimely death of a loved one in our families, in our community. So those are not so much great, and we don't like those kind of changes. But change, I mean, there is something to get out of change, and we can grow. But let's talk about the change that we have power to create. Because I was stuck for so long, for 30 plus years, in depression with suicidal thoughts. And I was playing the victim. I was having a pity party. And I liked to play the blame game. And this is just how it is. And I was more on the pessimistic side of thinking for 30 plus years. And it doesn't have to be that way. In fact, there's one thing I want you to think with me for a minute as I'm talking about one word that starts with a C, and I might have already said it in this video, but one word that starts with a C that we all want. We all have it, but we're not using it in the right way. But it is something we definitely want in this life. Everybody is fighting for it, to have it in their life. And we do. We have more of it than we think. So this word that I want to talk about is control. We have more control over our lives than we realize. No, we can't control the outside things and things that are taking outside of us, like someone else's behavior and how they respond to something. We can't control the untimed death of a loved one. We can't control those kinds of changes and things that happen in our life. But what we can control is our heart and our mind. If we can get our mind and our heart together thinking, and I do this all the time, I point to the wrong thing. So if we can get our heart and our mind together and just know that we have more control, we have control over those things. And when changes come about, we don't have to feel like we're out of control. In fact, one thing that I've been doing lately is, because I have a large household and I feel like I can finally start getting on top of my house, because I work outside my home and then I work in my home and then I homeschool my kids, and so I feel like my time is stretched and it's very valuable. And so when I go to sit down or relax or whatever, I just want to be with my family or do whatever. But I am like, oh my gosh, every room I turn into, every closet just kind of gives me anxiety. Have you ever been in that situation with your life, to where wherever you walk, you're just like, oh my gosh, that's a mess? Or I haven't even gone through that, and I know I don't use any of that stuff anymore. Do I really need it? And so declutter, dejunk. And so that has been my focus the last weekend, and I'm hoping it will stretch into the next several months, right? As I can take time little by little and de-junk each closet, each space in my home, so I can go, okay, I can breathe, and I just know it's stuff that's going to be used, or not just sitting and won't be ever used. So it's nice. So we do have control to make certain little changes in our life. And so take power in that you have control to have over some change. And that change can be as simple as organizing one drawer in your kitchen, or one drawer in your bathroom, or one shelf in a closet. Just commit to changing one thing, or to creating a space that is going to help you calm and relax in your mind. So we have that power. And what I love is, in this manual, Emotional Resilience, Finding Strength in the Lord, go to the church website, Church of Jesus Christ, Latter-day Saints. I think it's just churchofjesuschrist.org. You can get a manual of this on there, but it says, okay, something I want to change, and it gives you a few lines to write down. So what is something you want change? And I like it because the next follow-up question says, how could my life be different when I make this change? How will my life be different? And so what change have I been wanting done lately? As you've heard, I've been walking in rooms and I'm feeling out of control. Things are not where I want them, or it's like, oh, I've lived in my house for almost 20 years and I have not done a deep purge for a long time. It's been several years, probably a good decade since the last time I've done a deep clean out. And it's like, okay. And I'm going through one closet I went through today. I'm like, oh my goodness, my boys are in their teen years and I have church suits for boys that are 10, 12. And I'm like, why have I hung on to this? I don't know. I didn't even know it was there. And so it's so nice to go through each little thing and to be able to go through. And so I'm like, that's the change I want to make. I want to make going through each of my closets, going through each room, one room at a time, right? Like, you don't look at the whole elephant and go, okay, well, I give up. I can't even do any of it. So what I do is I just take one little part, one little section a day. Like, I'll have in my mind, I want this done. this shelf and this shelf, and that'll be good. Whatever it is, commit to that and make that happen. And then how is it going to make you feel once this change happens in your life? Once that thing that you have control over to change. Maybe it's a pessimistic attitude. Maybe you find yourself complaining a lot. Then that is an easy fix. It's an easy fixer, and it takes constant work in your mind, but it is an easy fix. And so, meaning very doable, not easy as in getting it done, but because it takes work. Nothing worthwhile in this life is going to be easy. Everything that is worthwhile to shoot for, all your goals, your relationships, everything that you find of value in your life is going to take work. Just know that. It's going to take blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak. It's going to take perseverance. It's going to take a lot of hard work. And that's okay, because it's worthwhile to fight for. It's worth your time to fight for. And so, how is your life going to be different when you make the changes that you want? Imagine it, visualize it. I love this book because it brings out the mindfulness in things. It is so important that we are mindful. We are mindful of our state of being. We are mindful of how it is we're feeling inside, because a lot of times, whatever our outside experiences are is what's going on inside. And so if we are feeling like we are completely in a disarray on the inside, well, start looking around you. And that's kind of how I felt. I've been like on the inside, I'm like going, okay, I'm feeling a lot, and there's a lot going on inside of me. And then I look around in each of my rooms in my house, and I'm like, that's why. So, just kind of, and maybe you're an organized person and you've been able to stay up on that kind of stuff, and you don't feel discombobulated and it's okay. I tend to be a person that can feel that way, but you know what? I have the tools and I know exactly what to do rather than stay stuck, stagnant, and be miserable and unhappy. It feels so good to just set those little things that we have control over, those goals. And what is it going to be like? I love that question. What is this going to look like when this change happens? When I create this change in my life, knowing that you can create change. We can be in control of some changes in our life, although some we are not in control of. But what can we control? We can control how we react to different situations. But feel your emotions. If you're going through grief, please don't ever. I am not a believer in, we need to be positive and think positive. Don't ever have a negative thought come into your mind, because that's not realistic. The natural man, we are going to have negative thoughts. But my whole teaching is become aware, be aware of where it's coming from. And if you don't know where it's coming from, ask God within you. Say that prayer, like, God, why do I feel this way? Why did this come up to me? And I guarantee you, why is this experience, why am I feeling this way about this particular experience? I promise you, God is going to give you an answer, and it's beautiful. It'll come to you and it'll give you some information of why it is and where you're at. And it's beautiful. So enjoy the journey. And so, and I'm going to say this again, how can my life be different when I make this change? Visualize it. Visualize yourself next week, not 5 years from now, which that's a great picture too. We can visualize where we want to be in 5 years, but visualize your day tomorrow. Before you go to bed tonight, no matter when you're watching this, I want you to visualize how you want your day to play out tomorrow. What is it you want? Think of the meetings that you have to attend. Think of all the things, whether it's work or chauffeuring kids, or maybe you're in charge of a birthday party, or maybe you're in charge of, a community event. Whatever it is you got going on, because our lives are busy, just play it out. Envision what it's going to look like. Envision it to be a beautiful day. So yeah, imagine what that one change is going to do for you in your life. What feelings is it going to create? What is it going to accomplish for you and your household or people around you. Envision it. Imagine what it's going to be, what that one change is going to do for you. And then daily build on that change. If it was just cleaning out one drawer, the next day, clean out another. Or, have a goal like, okay, I can't do this every day, but at least once a week, commit to organizing a space in your home to where you're like, okay, this is much more doable. I can do this. So that's just my advice is change is beautiful. Change can be very beautiful, and change is a blessing. And even the hard changes of loved ones not being with us anymore, they can be a blessing in disguise too. If you're in the thick and the pain of it and you're hearing me say this, you're going to want to shut me right off, and I get it. But change can be beautiful, and it's what we get to choose. We get to choose, and the only thing that has helped me losing loved ones that have been close to me is just the memories of those people and the beautiful time that we had. Maybe you didn't get much time. I didn't get a lot of time with my grandbaby, but I do think of that precious week that I got to have with him. And you know what? We all can focus on the beautiful things, and that is the hard thing about life. Nobody gets out of life. Nobody gets to pick their time. It's all God's timing, and trust in his timing, and just know that change can be beautiful, and there's always a reason for something, and it's not because God is mean or angry and does this to punish us. It's none of that. It's not like things happen because we deserve things in life. It's just part of life. And how are we going to react to these changes that come to us? How can we be more resilient to these welcomed or unwelcome changes? I've got some changes coming up in my future, and I could either act scared, excited, whatever it is, we get to choose how we act when we have changes coming our way. So be open to it and know that we have that power. We have the power to control where we are at emotion-wise so that we can be more resilient. So God bless. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Share it with others. I'm here to help those on their healing journey that have a desire to heal spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. And God bless. God bless you on your journey. And until next time, bye.